Hey, Jeannie Lynch, welcome back to my channel. So excited to continue the beautiful work of bringing different spiritual modalities to you on top of healing aspects that can help you heal yourself. So my next guest is a combination of so many other guests I've had on my channel. So I'm so excited to wrap this all up in one big bow. Reverend Pamela Robinson is coming in, and she's a neuro-linguistic programmer. She's a hypnotherapist. She's a social worker. She's done so much work helping others deal with anxiety and trauma. And we're going to wrap this all up in her modality today as she and we go through her beautiful story of how she became to do this work, but more importantly, what that work is, and certainly in today's world. Have I got your ear? Have I got your interest? She certainly has mine. That beautiful interview is coming up next. Pamela, yay! So happy that we're here together today. And we've been talking a lot offline, and I just did your beautiful hook. And I'm so excited to introduce my audience to you, and just want to do a little layup so people know what to expect. Whether people are watching this on our YouTube channels or listening on podcast or just happenstance catch us, right? We appreciate the audience first and foremost. Come together today to share beautiful modality, but also your story. So we're going to put these two together. So I'm going to be quiet. I would love for you to introduce yourself to my audience and get to know you a little better before we dive into your modality today, which you're going to tell us all about. So without further ado, Pamela Robinson, please.
Oh, thank you so much, Jeannie. This is a wonderful opportunity to share what it is that I'm doing. I'm so glad that we have been brought together as light workers. Again, my name is Pamela Robinson. I am actually a light worker, a healer, but I'm a psychotherapist, registered social service worker, psychotherapist. And I have developed a modality that helps people to heal anxiety and depression. Quite often, we don't hear about healing these things. We often hear about managing them. And I'm a big believer that we can heal ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. We're designed to do that. So, my story, I've lived through a lot of trauma, a lot of mental and emotional abuse from the time that I was knee high to a grasshopper. And then I went into several abusive relationships and have raised two beautiful children. One has addictions. So I went through a lot in my life, and I'm proof in the pudding that we can get through things more vibrant, more alive. I don't have to carry this trauma forward in everyday life. So that's a little bit about my story. Now, the process I call Point of Awareness Method, and it's a culmination of different experience in my life, Z Point, NLP, hypnosis. But I take people through a hypnotic meditative process where they get to do the work. A lot of therapies, we're talking our story. I learned through my own experiences that talking our story actually re-traumatizes us. So there is value in talking our story, but if we talk about it too much, what happens is we actually just keep the energy of it alive.
Oh,
So I help people to
there? So can I
you
interject
sure can.
so we can have a great dialogue about that? Because obviously the work, the shaman work, right? Going back and claiming your soul. I've done so much of that work, and I've actually led groups to do meditations that involve that work. And I hear what you're saying, but boy, that work is truly about going back in that moment and looking at it. I think, and this is where I would love some clarity from you and your understanding of your work. In that moment, we remain in the work that I've done. I remained up, looking down. So even though I'm back in that moment, picking up a piece of my soul that broke off and got destroyed in
Yeah.
that moment, I'm remaining out of my body. So can you talk to my audience a little bit more about that connect or that disconnect and your understanding of that so we can all learn?
Well, what happens is that we have our spiritual self, and we have, which is our wisdom, and we have our human self. And so in this process, the wisdom takes over. It takes you on the journey. So you're the observer of these experiences that are contributing to your anxiety or depression today. It's often a compounded effect. We think it's just about one moment, but this moment is actually the catalyst to heal, the culmination, if that makes any sense at all.
It does.
And what people are really amazed at when they go through this process, they literally have memories come up that they haven't thought about in a long time. So this is subconsciously still driving them. And what we want to do is not release or clear or get rid of the memories. What we want to do is clear the emotional attachment to those memories so that we're actually making our decisions clear, conscious, and connected, not driven by the pain, what I call pain and ego body.
Got it. Okay.
Or ego pain body.
So good. Let's keep going and dive deep. So I was going to say clients, but so the listeners can understand, right? There's that mind, right? So that they can connect to what we're saying. Because we know, and many people who follow both of our work, I'm sure, understand conscious and unconscious. But it seems like we need to do a little recap too into that aspect, because you can't fix what you don't consciously know is broken, right? So that,
without awareness, you are so right. Without awareness, change cannot happen.
Here's an explanation to the Point of Awareness method that Pamela has created. I found this on her website. Listen in. The Point of Awareness method is a simple and easy, non-invasive, hypnotic, meditative process designed to engage your higher mind, your wisdom, or your spiritual self, to rewrite or upgrade the known and unknown story of your human ego, as it has internalized and continues to tell you over and over and over again. Pamela has experienced this firsthand, and she understands that without this awareness, change can be elusive. She believes that by reviewing your life in this state of hypnosis or meditation, you will be able to discover the many things which are hidden or buried and have a greater impact in your life today. Through this awareness, you can see yourself and life with more clarity and understanding. In this process, you will be able to forgive yourself and others more easily, and you will have subtle shifts in your behaviors. You will be able to free, relieve, and find joy. You will make more conscious decisions and choices with an authentic, grounded, centered space. No longer operating from that old, internalized story that has held you back for so long. Let's continue to learn more about Pamela Robinson's work. Enjoy. So walk us through that. So we, people who follow our channels both understand that, or all understand that you cannot fix what you're not aware is even broken. So that conscious and unconscious. And we also, I'm sure many of us know that a lot of what we drive our day and what comes to us comes from the unconscious mind, right? So walk my audience through how you help people understand what their subconscious and unconscious and limited beliefs are and stuff, so that maybe we can experience a little bit of a healing in this interview today.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all at that happening. It is very much about helping people to understand that when we are going through this process, you get to do the work. So I read a script because the script is an important part of the process. Sorry, it's an important part of the process to be able to reprogram on that subconscious level. So when we're taking you through this process as a client, what will happen is I'm taking you on a journey of through your lifeline. So whatever age you're at today, that's the starting of the process. We will take you right back even into the womb. Now, with some people, I will take them back into the energy of past lives, depending on how I'm guided. Most often it's into the womb, because we also take on the energies of the experiences around us. And I know this for a fact because my son at the age of 5 came to me and asked me for a specific album, the Duke album, and a specific song that was on the album. And he was 5 years old. And I'm like, how do you know this? But that was what I listened to the whole time that I was pregnant. So I had that confirmation that we children really do absorb a lot while in the womb.
Yes.
So if your mother or there was fighting in the family, the child in the womb is going to take on the energy of that. So they may be predispositioned to this energy of anxiety, fear, nervousness. depression, even if the mom was depressed.
Let me give you a great example of that. My mom was told if she got pregnant again, she would never make it through another pregnancy. So she carried me thinking she was going to die. Okay. So
Yes.
that's how I was conceived. Actually, that's how I was carried for the entire term and, bed rest and the whole bit. So tell me there's not whatever that word is, a connection for me to be in somewhat of a state of fear in my life, right? So I love that. So when you're working with people and you identify that, do people come to you with a sense of what it is they need to work on, or are you sitting down because someone's having anxiety and they don't know why they're feeling anxious? Take me there.
So when working with people, they're coming in already either diagnosed or knowing that they have anxiety, not always, diagnosed by a medical professional. Sometimes it's just they have this knowing that this is what's going on. Not a big believer in medications. And so they come to me looking for relief and looking for an understanding. And basically the relief. They want to move forward, not having to carry this. And then what we do is I explain to them that we're products of our childhood. We are programmed by the time we are 5 to 8. And after that, we're repeating patterns of behavior, people, circumstances that reinforces the initial messaging. More often than not, we remember the negative or the not so good messaging because our brain is designed to protect us.
Yes.
It's designed to hang on to that so that we are always guarded, prepared, that sort of thing. So that's why we remember the negatives more than we do the positive.
Yes.
Right? Each opportunity in our lifetime where we're facing the same pattern, what happens is it's just an opportunity to heal that core messaging, that core wound, right? The trauma, the pain. And trauma does not necessarily mean worst case scenario. It's whatever has left a scar on you. And I've been doing this work for a long time. And I believe 90% of the population is walking around in their ego and pain body, driving everything that they're doing.
Totally.
Because they're not consciously aware of what is driving it. They know they have a drive.
Yeah.
Right? Even successful people, sometimes what's driving them is that fear of failure.
Got it.
Right? But they're not going to identify that a lot of times because of how society perceives things.
So
right?
here's my question. What comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? So trauma. You have trauma in your life.
Experiences. Yep.
You're carrying it. You know it's there. You're remembering it. You've gone to a healer. You've worked with it. If you don't truly heal it, I just did a video recently talking about that line, the coping line and how trauma lessens the margins. And you don't heal it, right? Energetically, it's still on you. So here's a very great conversation and a spiritual one, right? So does the universe say, Jean, you're still carrying abandonment. I know you don't want to look at it, but I want you to look at it, so I'll just give you a little bit more abandonment. Or does the law of attraction give you more abandonment? Or does your trauma just keep happening because you haven't healed it?
It's a combination of all of those things if you think about it, right?
Take us there. Explain it to us.
Our experiences are for our soul's growth.
Yes.
The universe guides us and protects us in the process, but everything that we're going through is for us to evolve to the best, not just human, but soul.
Yeah.
It helps us to graduate, ascend, right? All of our experiences are teachers, right? There's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. This is where in the humanness we get into trouble because good and bad and right and wrong creates divide with humans, right? With other people. If we are righting and wronging ourselves, judging ourselves as good or bad, we're actually creating a divide between our spiritual self and our human self. And to live a fulfilled life, we need to integrate both. And that's what's happening a lot in this world. So what happens is you have to be able to heal some of those core things in order to be able to integrate the wisdom.
Got it.
I'm like a bridge between both those worlds, working with people. And the interesting thing as a psychotherapist is that a lot of people are coming looking for the spiritual component. They're finding more and more that psychology goes hand in hand with spirituality. Well, I believe the Latin meaning behind psychology is actually to know the soul.
Oh, I love
So
that.
there's a direct link there that's been missed for a long time. And so the light workers coming into this world are actually stepping everything up a notch.
Part of
You
our
know, you've
mission,
got this,
right? Part of our
yeah, that's part of our
responsibility right
mission,
now. Yeah.
especially at this particular time. And then you've got your spiritual groups of people, the younger ones, who are, you know, they're great. They know that manifestation should be easy. They create their own little bubble of people who are in the same, you know, mindset, I guess you would call it. They're spiritual, but they're forgetting that their role is to come into this world and plant seeds in amongst the people who aren't there yet. But they're creating a bubble, which is actually they're spiritually kind of still in their ego, in their humanness here, not realizing that, you know, it's okay to plant the seeds. It's okay to go out and work in the world, you know. They understand that things should be bartered, that things should be given easily, right? The free aspect. We're in the 3D world, we're in the human world. It is evolving into the 5D world, and we're all of us in this spiritual understanding. But we can't discount that this is a part of our journey, is to teach the people and help them to grow into a deeper understanding of themselves and a deeper understanding of connection in the world.
I could talk to you all day, and you're every
Oh,
time you say something, I'm going, "Oh my God, I could go down this road with that." I have a really
Jeannie, this
important,
is why it's so amazing to be able to be working with you right now. Like,
yeah, so
I
important
wanted to do
too.
public speaking around this
Yeah.
because it's simple. The simpler, the better. And as humans, we complicate the crap of everything.
Two things come to mind, Pamela, as you were talking that I want to dive into next. There's a whole group, huge group of people that have showed up in my spiritual readings that are not the children of today, but they're the children of the future, right? And so when we're talking about ascension and
Yes.
the light workers and the responsibility, there's also so many people, the forerunners, I believe, walk in this earth right now that are here to help us too, right? So where are those people, and what has your experience been with the people who are so advanced and are so frustrated with how slow we are? What's your answer to that? Or is that such a weird can of worms I
Um,
just opened?
it is, but it's real. And it is, that's, I think, the thing is letting go of judgment of who's where, what, and where,
Yeah.
right? We're all here on this journey, and we can integrate and experience one another in exactly the way that we are. Like, not pressuring someone, right? Like,
Yes.
my job here as a counselor isn't to pressure someone into believing something. It's up to you what you want to take from the session,
Got it.
right? It's up to me, even in my personal life. I mean, my personal life is very different in that I have a lot of people who are not where I'm at from the spiritual understanding. That's okay. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. It has gotten them to where they are. They're good human beings. Who am I to judge that what their journey is all about? And I think that's really huge, is allowing people their experiences for their growth. Like, who made me God? Who made you God?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
decide that,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Love that.
So we get caught up in, well, so and so is here and so is there. And it's like, you know what? That is where we are going the exact opposite of where we need to go.
Yeah.
COVID, I think, has shown that as well, right? This is an opportunity for all of us to come together with an acceptance in our differences. I've seen, you know, some spiritual people who are doing some beautiful work, but they're caught up in changing their name. They're caught up in ascending and ascension, and they have a following of people, which is really wonderful. But when you get upset because someone's called you by your former name, That's ego getting involved, because those people don't mean any ill harm,
Yeah.
right? It's that's how they know you. So it's an element of, again, being able to accept that we're all on different aspects of our own path, which is helping evolve the whole world. It's not everybody's got to come together to evolve the whole world.
Yeah.
Everybody has to be where they are at.
Yeah. I love that. Let's go there too. So, because the language has changed, right? So years ago, we called it the shift. People were burning their bras, Manson was out in full force and everybody got freaked out and it went back into hiding. Right? And now we're using this word ascension and 3D and 4D and 5D. And I've featured this a lot on my channel. So people who are watching my channel have had this conversation here before. So here we are evolving, right? I love what you're saying, and I'm just going to say it in a similar way. The shift and the ascension takes place when we are all collectively together, right? So they're the slowest man left behind. Can't We all have to go together because we are all one. So no man left behind. And I love that. And that does not happen until we all embrace where we all are. Someone's struggling,
Absolutely.
pull them along. Someone wants to stay there, leave them there, right? Leave them where you found them. It's one of my favorite new sayings. It's not our job to heal or fix people. And I know many people who are watching this, and especially the healers out there, we're not healers as in the sense we're healing people. We're guiding people to their healing. And I just think that's a great place. So do this. Let's get into the healing aspect of what you have to offer. And when you think about where the world is today, the people who are showing up, and obviously I'm not asking for specifics, but just a general state of where the world is and what you're finding is being of most help to people out there because of where we are right now. What would you like? Give us 3 things that you would like to offer us that if someone was coming to you today seems to be at the helm of what your message is.
Okay. Unconditional love. Unconditional love is a way of being. It is not reserved for a family member. It's not reserved for a partner. It's not reserved for just family and friends. It really is for everybody. So unconditional love
Got it.
and acceptance of our differences,
Got it.
right?
That's one.
That
Give me
is
2 more.
huge. Um, I think acceptance for where you're at,
Mhm.
right? Understanding that I'm not a guru. You are the guru on you. I'm going to help you to find that guru, right? It's an element of, we all have our own wisdom. We're all born with it. It's whether we tap into it or not and learn to develop it. So I will help you with that. I will help you to see you for who you really are, not what your human story is.
Got it. One more.
Okay. Um, I walk my talk. I'm a living example of it. Am I perfect? Heck no. Have I had experiences? Absolutely. Do I understand about waking up? Using that, you know, coin phrase. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
But I also am no different than everybody else, that I'm on a journey. And when I was able to reflect on my life, I was being guided every step of the way and put in situations where I was helping and of service as early as 6.
Got it. Got it.
But I believe everybody, when they get to that place of understanding, that they'll be able to reflect and go, oh, yeah, there's no coincidences.
Yeah. Love that.
And
My
even our
mentor,
trauma and our pain is lessons for all involved.
yes. My mentor
For,
says, once you learn the lesson, it's yours. And, we've talked quite a bit, God school lesson, I'm here to learn, and to me, it just sounds so much like work. And I love the idea of it being more of the experience that I wanted to experience and this idea that I have, I'm going to use the word control, but I don't mean it in control ego sense. I love that I have the choice or the power or the opportunity, right, to say, ooh, this worked, this didn't. Next time I'll try it this way and expand and go with that. So I love that. So take us
Yes.
to this next step for you. So people are listening and I'm listening and I'm going, oh my God, right? So there's so much that we could be doing for work together as far as my healing goes. And I'm a healer, right? So take us to the people out there who might be listening and they're interested in following you or learning from you or working with you. How does that happen? Is it done in a classroom? Is it on a website? Is it one on one? Is it 20 sessions? And then you take us through. You meet me on a street and I want to come work with you. Tell me how I do that so the audience can.
Well, right now, what people do is you can find me on Psychology Today. I do have a website, evalovehealing.com.
I'll put the links.
I have people come in and meet for 5 or 10 minutes. So a consultation, that's free.
Okay.
That gets people to see who I am, see where I'm at, understand my process, and then they get to choose. Right? If they just want to talk, they get to. They are the ones that get to tell me where they want to go, what they want to do. If they need to talk, and sometimes they need to talk because they haven't been heard or listened to, and that in itself helps a lot of people in healing. Just
Mm-hmm.
being heard.
Mm-hmm.
Then I take them through the process. And I mean, in the very first session, I'm usually taking someone through this process.
Good.
So it's
Keep
an
going.
element of the trust is built very quickly. It doesn't need to take 6 sessions or 10 sessions, with everyone. For some people, they feel the comfort, they feel the confidence, they feel energy as they walk into the room. I take them through this um, lifeline journey where they get to put in, if it's anxiety that they're working on, they get to put anything and everything that is shown to them through their wisdom. Even if they're not 100% sure, don't go into analyzing it. You just throw it into the circle. The circle can change according to what your wisdom wants it to be. We take and go all the way back down to into the womb.
Is
People are
that in a
shocked at what they will
is
remember.
that in a hypnosis aspect? Are people in hypnosis when you're taking them through that process, or is it talk therapy at this point?
Hypnotic meditative process.
Got it. Thank you.
Sorry, a hypnotic meditative process.
Got it. Okay.
Yes, I don't think it's full hypnosis because I'm not making a lot of suggestions other than, what your thought patterns are, what your behaviors are. Let me go through the list. Um, Thought patterns, messaging, stories, narratives,
Got it.
experiences, judgments, memories, beliefs, impressions, assumptions, conclusions, perceptions, people, circumstances, situations, pressures or expectations, whether from others or from yourself. They get to put all that comes up for them into this circle in this process. And it takes about 20 minutes, sometimes a half an hour, depending on the person.
Got it.
And they do the work. I'm just repeating this as we go from each era, the 10-year decade sort of thing. So if year 61, we'll clear the first year and then we'll go from 59 all the way to 50, 49 all the way back to 40. Like you're the one doing the work. I'm not telling you what you need to let go of, please, what you need to clear. Your wisdom is guiding that process.
Got it.
Then what we do is I get them to say out loud, I give myself permission to clear all of this and let it all go. A big important component is intention and giving yourself that permission to do so. So they say that out loud. Then what I do is I get them to repeat what is their reset word. They get to choose that word. A lot of people will choose peace, but it can be as mundane as coffee and ketchup to peace or freedom and anywhere in between.
Okay.
And then they're repeating that word quickly and comfortably, whether out loud or in their head, depending where their comfortability is. And I count down from 10 to 0. And what's really beautiful about this process is people will twitch. There'll be movements. There'll be a lot of different things that will happen for them that shows that they're not just releasing mental and emotional, but they're releasing how it's stored physically in the body as well. I've had people who have had backaches where they've walked out of here feeling better. I've had people who troubles within the vagina, and it's an element where they've been for special therapy, and their therapist said, "What are you doing?" because you need to keep doing it. Now, these aren't things that I'm looking to do. They are things that naturally happen when we take care of ourselves and take care of healing that emotional baggage that we've been carrying. People walk out of here feeling lighter every session. They look forward to the next session. They're not walking out of here feeling drained and daunted and, oh my God, what did I just open?
Yes.
So that's what's really beautiful. Moving forward from there, I'm able to go through clearing statements intuitively based on our conversations in future sessions. Most people, I mean, the average is about 10 sessions that people come.
Pamela, I am so enjoying our conversation, and I hope that people who are listening and watching are opening up the door. The place I want to go next is something that you were saying that came to mind. Most people who are needing or looking or spiritual or in this healing world, which I'm assuming if you're watching this, that's you. Um, Recently, I got asked, I needed to go. I was on anxiety meds and the rest of it. So my man was like, I really want you to go back into, getting therapy, talk therapy. And I've been in therapy for years. I think the world right now is become smart enough to know that there's the talk therapy and then there's the spiritual side and and I love this little bridge that it feels like you are. So I think you're perfect for this next point that I'm trying to make. When I got on the phone to the psychologist who can, look at my meds within 3 seconds of the 10 minutes I got with this person at $500 a pop. And I'm not putting down people, I'm just trying to open up the discussion for the conversation. I was told to go back to the trauma, tell me about your childhood. Why don't you have any childhood memories? And I started to get agitated. I was getting pissed that I had to tell a story again. I didn't want to go back. And, so by the time I finished my hour session with this person, I was so agitated and I could use the drugs. Okay. I think that people just don't want to have that discussion anymore. And not that there's a need or a draw for it for people who have certain things. I think the people who are watching this video today are open to healing, to Louise Hay's work. We talked about this, right? How to heal your life, spiritually and
Oh, I'm with you.
working with energy and stuff. So you are the audience of the people who are listening now. So here we are, we're opening up that door. People want to work with you. They understand that you're that bridge. You have a spiritual class that you also do. Take us to there. In continuing that work, how do people work with you today? Is it online? Do you have your own classes and workshops and stuff? So we can connect with you and work more with you. Take us there.
So I have a few things going on right now. Yes, I do work online. It works equally as well online as it does in person because our energy, whether we're 100 miles or 1,000 miles, it's connected. We're all one. So it's an element of it works equally as well. So by all means, if that's something you'd like to do, we can do that. I am also doing smaller groups of online, unmasking anxiety, unmasking depression, unmasking weight loss, because there's a lot of emotional things that are attached to the weight and protection. I have done a trial group with 17 people, and there was huge success in a 5-week course. So these are all upcoming things. They're not in the works right now, but I'm in the preps of doing all of those after this one trial group. I also offer in person, which I will be doing in September, is experiential, a 5-week process, or it's going to be a day long if it's someone coming from out of town. We're going to put together there's another girl that's helping me with this. She's great in mindfulness and moon ceremonies and that sort of thing. So we're collaborating together. I will be having sharing circles in my home as well. So there's a lot of things that will be up and coming, but my Power and Legacy course is a spiritual development course so that you can tap into, it's kind of a kindergarten course for those who want to learn what they are drawn to.
I think that's a lot for people to absorb. I feel really great about meeting you today and making a new friend and sharing your beautiful modality. We'll be doing a lot too. I'll have beautiful slides for people. We'll dive a little bit more into the work in this video so people can see your website and the rest of it. All the links will be below. So as we're wrapping up today, and today, as you knew, thank you, Maria Conclaves, for making the connection to us, right? Another friend, thank you. Was there anything before we slide into our fun part of this interview that I have forgotten or you wanted to make sure gets said? Or maybe you have a beautiful spiritual message for the world today that you'd like to wrap up before we head into rapid fire?
I think the most important thing is for people to know that they've got the strength in them to step into who they are authentically, not their story. You are so much more than your story. And to be able to tap into that and to love yourself and allow magic into your life in a really tangible way, everybody deserves that. You all deserve it.
Thank you. Oh, I love that. It's right in too. I just did another interview with a woman on writing your story. She's an intuitive writing coach. So this all lines up with the work that I'm trying to do for people too. So I love that. So guess what that means?
Quick fire.
Rapid fire. The music's kicking up. You have no idea what questions I'm going to ask. They're going to be one-word answers, though. So this is my chance to say thank you so much for your time and your beautiful energy today and what you're doing for the world in helping people heal. We will be connecting, I'm sure. So let's slide right in. What is your favorite movie?
I believe Ghost.
How perfect. If you were going to change the world today, you might have said it when you said love, but what does the world truly need in order to be changed?
Unconditional love, and it starts within.
Love that. We all have pet peeves. Okay, come on, admit it. You have one. What is yours?
Oh, really judgmental people.
And we all have beautiful qualities that we love about yourself. What is something that you love about yourself? I know I can list 10 for you right now, but maybe share yours.
The quality that I bring to the table always is love.
Last question is, before we say goodbye to everybody, is what are you doing when you're experiencing joy?
Sitting watching the birds outside of my backyard, dancing. Would love to dance. And being with my partner. He's a joy to be with and just connecting.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you so much today. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for partaking in this beautiful interview today. All the links below. You'll be able to catch this out on podcast, YouTube, Mesh Media, all our social media platforms, and the links are absolutely in the description. So thank you, Pamela. We'll look forward to working again together. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you so much, Jeannie. Thank you for everybody who's listening, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity to share what it is that I do and speak about everything that I'm passionate about. So thank you so much.
We feel it. We love it. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Awesome. God bless everybody.
Thanks for joining our video premiere today, and don't forget to smash that like button and share because you care. Bye now.